of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. What's up, folks? Hope you're having a great day so far, a great week. If you're watching the podcast on the video version, you'll see I got a new microphone. So hopefully it sounds right. It's coming through. Hopefully everything is working just good. It should sound good. It's actually supposed to be a better mic. So we will see. Um, yeah, hopefully everything's coming through. If not, we'll just re-record it. Oh well. But let's get into it. Today's podcast is Bodybuilding 101. Everything you need to know about a bodybuilding show and how I'm specifically preparing for my show. I'm gonna go ahead and say from the get-go, there's no one size fits all way to prepare. It's gonna be different from everybody. So I suggest from the get-go, go ahead, hire you a coach because they gonna know way more than you and they're gonna be able to help you. And they're gonna make it a lot easier on you, a lot less stressful. So y'all sorry, I'm trying to adjust some things. But yeah, go ahead and hire you a coach from the get-go. That way you ain't even gotta worry about it, you ain't gotta stress about it, and you can make it a whole lot easier. Yeah, I just wanted to for anybody that's never competed before or never done a show, you probably don't know what all goes into it, what all um happens and how much preparation goes into it because it's a lot. It really is. There's a lot more that goes into it than I realized. And I'll tell you at the end, y'all gotta stay tuned if I'm ever gonna do one again because it's a lot. So we'll get into that towards the end of the podcast. But yeah, first and foremost, so yeah, what yeah, up first I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me update y'all about myself. So currently it is July 30th. So we are just just under 4 weeks out. So this Saturday will be 3 weeks out from the show. That being said, very low calorie, lots of cardio, not feeling the best, but we're here. We showing up for the podcast regardless. We gonna get it done. So if I'm not the most energetic, that's the reason why. But we gonna hopefully get on here and drop some value for y'all anyways. Yeah. So first and foremost, the first thing you want to do is just understand the competition. So when it comes to bodybuilding, there's different categories that you can compete in. So for men, there's three. There's men's physique, classic physique, and then their bodybuilding. So men's physique, they compete with shorts on. So they wear like swim trunks basically, and they're not judged on their legs. They're only judged on their upper body. So these are typically going to be your smaller, more like lean cut guys. It's really not the case anymore for pros because the pros that are in this class are absolutely jacked. They're huge, but they're not as big as the bodybuilders. And then you have that in between class, classic physique, which is actually the class that I'm competing in. So this is more of like your old school bodybuilding, things like Arnold Schwarzenegger style. Um, you do wear posing trunks. You don't wear swim trunks like you do in men's physique. They wear it's basically like a speedo. That's the best way to explain it. You wear like a speedo in this class, and you have to wear black. I don't know why. This is the only class you have to wear a specific color for some reason. I'm not sure why you have to wear a specific color, but yeah, you have to wear black posing trunks for this class, and you are judged on your legs. So your legs are out, and you're showing in this one. And there's certain poses for each class. Each class has different poses that you do. It's not the same poses for every class. And then bodybuilding, that's the last category, and this is gonna be your big jacked swole dudes. Like when you think of bodybuilders, this is them. This is the huge dudes that um are just ginormous. So think of like your Ronnie Coleman's. Uh, so yeah, they're the biggest, and they wear like basically a thong, like a man thong, and so that way they can show their glutes a little bit more. It's got like a V cut in the back, so they can see more of your glutes. In classic physique, you wear more of like a speedo style to where it covers your glutes. So yeah, there's slight differences, and then I would try to tell you all the women's ones, but I can't name them all. There's too many. I know there's bikini, I know there's figure, and I know there's bodybuilding, but there's like a bunch. There's wellness. Um, There's a bunch of them. There's like probably 6 or 7 of them, if I had to guess. But yeah, depending on how your body type is shaped and how big you are and your size and the look you're going for, that's gonna depend on what class you compete in. So, normally, your bigger dudes go bodybuilding, your smaller, leaner dudes go men's physique, and then the in between people will go classic physique. So, I'm actually competing in classic physique, and then within those categories, they also have it broken down by different classes because they do it by height and they do it by weight. So, obviously, if somebody that's 5'6" and you got somebody that's 6'3", well, the 6'3" is gonna look way bigger and way more jacked dude. Like, that dude's gonna look way bigger and win over the 5'6" dude every single time. Like, that's just how it works. They're gonna win every time no matter what. So, they break it down by different classes so that it's fair, so that you're competing against people that are your height and your size to make it more realistic. Because if you get a dude over 6 foot and a dude under 6 foot, the guy that's taller is gonna win hands down every time. So, they break it up in different classes. If you do know anything about the classes, I will be classic physique open class B. And novice. I think it's novice class A, and I'm gonna do open class B. And then I'm also gonna do the true novice, which means it's my very first competition ever. So I'm doing 3 different classes in mine: true novice, novice, and open. Open is like for everybody, so I'll be competing against like the big dogs. Novice means you've competed before, but you never won a show. And then true novice is your very first show, like very first competition ever. So when it comes to the judging, each one of these classes has different judging. So there's different criteria. So they judge on like symmetry, muscularity, conditioning, your stage presence. It's basically a beauty pageant for men. That's exactly what it is. It's a beauty pageant for him. So like your overall presentation, your overall look, it's all taken into account. So it's very subjective. Like one judge may like one person better than the other, and the judge right next to him may like vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So it's very depending on what the judge is like and what kind of look they are looking for. So depending on who wins, it could be different depending on what judge is there, or it could be depending on who shows up that day. There's no like 100% guaranteed criteria. Like if you have this perfect body, you win. But there's guidelines and ways that they use to judge. So that's why you have more than one judge. So it's not like biased. We're not even gonna get too far into the judging because I really don't understand it myself all the way. I haven't done a show yet, so I don't know exactly what all goes into it, but I know it's just like a beauty pageant, so it's judged the same way. They're just judged on different criteria. So the next and probably the most important thing when it comes to a bodybuilding show is your diet. So when it comes to bodybuilding, everybody knows you're on a super, super strict diet. Um, we're not gonna get too far into the weeds of the diet, but basically you're hitting your macros every single day, not missing ever. You're eating tons of protein. At first, you'll eat a lot of carbs, and then you'll start to dial your carbs back as you go through your prep, and then you're eating kind of a moderate amount of fats. You're making up for less carbs with your protein and your fats. So you're probably gonna be eating around 1.5 grams of protein per pound of your body weight. I'm probably more than that, honestly. I'm eating probably over 250 grams of protein a day. I eat 6 times a day. I know it's a little ridiculous, it's overkill, but that's how you have to do it to keep your metabolism high. So eating every 2 to 3 hours is gonna help keep your metabolism high. Make sure you're not burning all your muscle off, but you're burning your fat. So you wanna maintain as much muscle as possible and burn as much body fat as possible. So you do this by keeping your metabolism high, eating 6 meals a day, lean proteins, complex carbs, and healthy fats. Um, and you basically got to eat what's on your meal plan. Like you can't eat nothing else. I mean, you can, but you're not gonna come into the show ready like you could have if you just stuck to your plan. So stick to your plan no matter what, and don't veer off of it. You will have high carb days thrown in there every now and then, a cheat meal thrown in there every now and then. So you just gotta stick to it the best you can. This is the hardest part for everybody. The hardest part for me by far. I've been the most disciplined I've ever been in my life on this prep because I have not ventured off my meal plan not once. Like, everything, I follow it to a T. I hired a coach, and he does my meal plan every week, and I follow it to a T. I don't just because and the only reason I do that is because I wanna show up looking my best and know that I gave my all 100%. I don't really care about the outcome as long as I know that I did everything I could in my power to win. So that's why I know I don't wanna cheat, because if I cheat, then if I don't win, I'm gonna be hard on myself. I'm gonna be mad at myself for having a cheat meal, um, when I shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? So I'm following it to a T. Only got 4 weeks left, 3.5 weeks left, so I think I can do it. I made it this far. I've been dieting for about well, not dieting. I've been on the meal plan for about 24 weeks now. Um, I don't know exactly when I started, quote, unquote, "dieting," but I've been on my meal plan for 24 weeks. It's been a while. So it's been a very, very long prep for me. Very hard task. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, honestly, like, no lie. It's super, super, um, disciplined, hard, but we're getting through it. We're gonna make it. So next, after your dieting, that comes to cardio. So cardio is also a very important part of your bodybuilding prep. Most time bodybuilders will do low intensity cardio, so walking on a treadmill, doing the stairmaster. I'm actually doing both right now. When I wasn't necessarily dieting, I did a lot of hit cardio. So like after well, not a lot, but I did a little bit of hit cardio after my workouts. I would do like 10 minutes hit cardio, not much, just a little bit to get the heart rate up. But ever since I started dieting, I'm doing very low, well, not very low, but I'm doing low intensity cardio on the treadmill, like incline treadmill at a pretty high, pretty good walking pace, just to get the heart rate up a little bit. And then I also do the stairmaster. So right now, my cardio is super tough. I'm doing 40 minutes on the stairmaster after my workouts, and I'm also doing a separate time in the day. I'm doing 40 minutes on the treadmill incline. So doing lots of cardio. It's low intensity, but lots of cardio. I'm getting over 14,000 steps a day. That's the goal. Um, so yeah, people do it different ways. Some people don't do the stairmaster; they only do the treadmill. Some people only do cardio once a day. It just depends on your physique and how much weight you need to lose. Depends on where you started at. So I can't really give you a recommendation. It's all depending on what your body looks like and what you're going for and what your goal is and what class you're in, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of variables to when it comes to bodybuilding. A lot of people will do fasted cardio. They do it in the morning. Um, Fasted. A lot of bodybuilders do it that way, or they'll do it right after their workouts. Um, Depending on where you're at in prep, you may do cardio 3 to 5 times a week. You may be doing cardio 7 days a week, like I'm doing right now. So probably the closer you get to show, the more you're gonna ramp your cardio up, and then probably like the week of the show, you're gonna tone it way back down. So it kind of just depends on your body at the time. Number four, and this is what it all comes down to when you get to the stage, and that's posing. So posing is very, very important. You don't really think about posing much until you actually have to do a bodybuilding show and realize how important posing is. Posing is because I'm not gonna say posing is the most important, but it's very important because when it comes to the show, the only thing the judges see is your posing. They don't see how hard you dieted. They don't see how much cardio you did. I mean, in a way they kinda do because they see how lean you are and they see how much muscle you have, but they don't see all that. They don't see your cardio, they don't see your diet, they don't see your workouts, they see your posing, that's all they see. So it's very, very important to nail your posing, to practice your posing, and if you have really good posing, it can really change the way your physique looks. Before I started this, I had no clue how to pose, really, no clue. I've never done it. Never did anything like it, didn't practice it. So, just by learning how to do, like, basic poses, my physique looked better just from learning how to do it. So, it's very important. It's gonna affect the judging and your overall presentation. It's gonna help your stage presence, all that. So, you gotta practice regularly. Right now, I'm supposed to be posing twice a day. I at least pose once a day, every day. Um, but yeah, really, I should be posing in the morning and in the afternoon, like, right when I'm doing my cardio and my workouts. Um, so some basic poses are your front double bicep. That's the one most people probably think of. Your back double bicep. So same thing, just turn backwards. Side chest, side tricep, your abdominal and thigh. Your front relax. You have your quarter turns. So I'm not gonna go too much into the poses because most people probably don't understand what they are. But yeah, each different category has specific poses that you do. So you don't do the same poses for every class. So that's one thing important if you're gonna do a show. You gotta make sure you know what poses are for your class. But I mean that's a given. You're gonna figure all that stuff out. But yeah, you just when you're doing your poses, just think hold them for like 15 seconds or so just to get good at holding them. Because when you squeeze your body when you're posing, like your muscles will literally shake because you're trying to squeeze them so hard. Your muscles will shake. So you have to practice this to get your body used to it so that you don't shake as bad. They call it conditioning. So the more conditioned you are coming into the show, the better. And you gotta and you gotta add like little transitions into your posing as well. You don't just want to go from pose to pose. I mean, you technically could, but it looks better. It's more smooth, more natural if you have some kind of transition in there in between each pose. So after you got all your dieting done, you got your cardio done, you got your posing done, as you're leading up to the show, that's going to bring you to peak week. So you'll hear bodybuilders say peak week. What does this mean? This is literally just the week of the show. It's the week that you want your body to peak, your physique. That final week before competition. And this is where you fine tune your body. You try to make it look the best. Where you're gonna apply your tanning and all this kind of stuff. So you're gonna start manipulating your water intake. I don't know too much about this just yet. I will learn more about it, but I know you manipulate it. You start higher and you taper it down closer as you get to the show. You're gonna start doing carb loading. So about 2 days out, you'll carb load. So typically, what you'll do is you'll deplete your carbs early in the week. So don't eat any carbs or really low carbs. And then later in the week, closer to the show, you'll load up full of carbs just to fill your muscles up as much as possible with that glycogen. And this will make you look bigger and fuller. And then also, you're going to manipulate your sodium. So you're going to monitor your salt intake. And based off like what your coach sees, it's going to depend on how much he tells you you can or can't have. When it comes to your training on peak week, you're gonna significantly reduce your volume. Not at this point, you're not gonna build any muscle, so you're not gonna be working out very hard. You're gonna do lighter workouts. You're really just trying to get a good pump, trying to pump some blood to the muscles just to fill them up, keep them full, going into the show. So you're gonna focus on light workouts, you really need to be focusing more on your posing during this week, practicing your pose and getting that down than really training. You're just training just enough to give you some blood pumping into your muscles and a good little pump, but you're not actually trying to like work out hard. You don't want to be sore when it comes to the show day because again, like I said, posing is hard, and the more sore you are, just the harder it's gonna make it. The next factor of bodybuilding is supplements. So obviously, this is a big one too because most time when you think bodybuilders, think steroids, obviously, but not every bodybuilder is on steroids. If you want to compete at the professional level, then yes, you pretty much got to do steroids. You don't have to, but you got to if you want to. uh, but yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about steroids because honestly, I don't take steroids, so can't really talk on them. But there is a lot of supplements that you take. So obviously, you're taking your protein powders. Some people experiment with BCAAs. I take creatine. I've been taking multivitamins. And that's pretty typical throughout my prep. Also, I use pre-workout just to get some energy from my workouts, but there's also different supplements you'll use during your peak week. So I'm actually kind of learning about this now, but there's different diuretics you can take. You really want to take vitamin C during your peak week. Some people even drink alcohol, like straight vodka or something the night before because it kind of dries your muscles out. Um, some people experiment with that. So there's all kinds of different tactics, strategies, and things you can do on peak week with supplements. All kinds of different things you can take. Digestive supplements to help your body digest because you're not really getting any fiber and things like that. So there's all kinds of different things you can do. Fish oil, multivitamins. I don't know. Or I mean, like I said, I hadn't got to peak week yet, so I hadn't experimented too much with this, but I have started talking about this stuff with my coach. So we're playing around with it. But yeah, typically normal supplements I take is creatine, whey protein, pre-workout. That's the three that I stick to. So I want to talk about carb cycling. So what is carb cycling? It's alternating between high carb, moderate carb, and low carb days. So basically, you're gonna for the most part, leading up to while you're on a diet, you're gonna go low carb. This is just better for weight loss. But every now and then, you'll get a high carb day, and this is the days that you look forward to on your bodybuilding prep because you get to eat more food, get to fill your muscles up, and you'll feel better. Like, when you go low carb, I don't know if you ever tried it before, but you just feel like crap. Like, I've been feeling so bad the past 2, 3 weeks. It's miserable. But every now and then, every like 2 weeks or so, my coach gives me a high carb day, and it's great because you feel better, got more energy, you're not restricted as much, you get more calories that day. So there's different ways. And this is just to um it helps in that fat loss while maintaining like your muscle like it kind of uh what's the way? It prevents plateaus in your fat loss. Kind of keeps your metabolism guessing because your metabolism thinks you're starving because you don't have much calories and you've been in a calorie deficit for so long. And then all of a sudden one day, boom, you get a lot of calories, a lot of carbs. So your metabolism is like, wait, what? I thought we were starving. Now we got a lot of food. What do we do? So it allows your body to keep losing muscle. I mean, keep losing fat, not muscle. I've noticed myself in my own body that every time I do a high carb day, I lose like 2 pounds at least from it. Because when you're starving, your body tries to hold on to that weight. It tries to hold on to as many calories as possible. So that's why you lose weight so slow. But when you get a lot of calories, your body's thinking, "Oh, well, we got excess calories now. We don't need to hold on to these other calories." So it kind of helps your body. It kind of shocks your body a little bit, and it helps you lose more weight. So I've noticed that when I do high carb days, the next day I will weigh a couple pounds more. Like I'll be heavier, like 3, 4 pounds more. And that's just because my body is holding on to like more water weight because I got all the carbs in me. But then the next day after that, I will drop down like significantly. Like I will drop all the 4 pounds I gained that day, plus like another 2 to 3 pounds. So I'll drop like 6, 7 pounds down just from doing a high carb day. It's crazy. I don't know how it works, but it's worked for me so far. So my coach mentioned having a high carb day this week, so I'm looking forward to it. Probably gonna be tomorrow, but we'll see. You kinda have to play it by ear. Um, that's why it's very important to get you a good coach that knows what they're doing. So the benefits of carb cycling is keeping your metabolism guessing and preventing plateaus in your fat loss. So some final preparations for your show, which I haven't got to these yet, so I don't know everything there is to know about them. But your tanning and your grooming. So most shows will have a professional spray tanning company come to the show, and you just pay them, and they'll do it for you. But there's things you gotta do leading up to that. You gotta obviously remove all your hair, you gotta shave, you gotta exfoliate your skin that week leading up to it so that the tan sticks to your skin right. And there's a lot of little things you gotta do, like so the shaving, the exfoliating, using certain kinds of lotions. You can't wear deodorant so many days out. I mean, there's all kinds of like little things that go into it that you don't realize until you actually do one yourself. So I'm still learning about these myself. Some show day essentials. Obviously, your posing trunks, your tanning products, your bands to pump up behind stage when you're getting ready. All your snacks, your water. You're gonna be eating lots of carbs throughout the day to kind of keep you full, keep your muscles full. Want to make sure you're arriving early. Calming your nerves. That's another thing. Stress plays a huge role in this. So you got to make sure you got the right mindset. You're staying positive. You're being confident, and just remember why you started and why you did this whole journey. Um, it'll be all. That's why it'll all be worth it. So I can't wait until it's over because I'm looking forward to absolutely smacking some food. I'm gonna smack any and everything that I want to. 'Cause I've been on such a restrictive diet for so long now that I just wanna eat. It's not that I crave junk food, I just want to eat something that's not on my meal plan. Like, I wanna eat something different. Tired of eating the same things over and over and over again, and I'm tired of not being able to snack. Like, sometimes, you just be sitting there and you're like, "Man, I really wish I could eat a snack right now," but, like, I can't. So, I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. This has been a super hard time. So, yeah, just to recap on some of the key points is the most important parts are proper dieting, effective cardio, consistent posing practice, understanding how your peak week works because your peak week can sometimes make or break you. Smart supplementation, and then those final show day preparations like your tanning and things like that. So if you want to do a show, I encourage you. Every competitor, every newbie, everybody always wants a newbie. Embrace the journey. You gotta be disciplined regardless. If you're not disciplined, you're probably not gonna make it to stage. And just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. It's definitely not for everybody, but if you want to do it, I highly suggest try it. It'll be one of the most tried and tested things you've ever done in your life. Like this has tested me way more. So I did Ironman for anybody that's listened before, and honestly, this is way harder than Ironman. Like I thought the Ironman was hard. Nah, this got to beat by far. Because with Ironman, you're doing so much cardio, you can eat whatever you want. You ain't gotta watch what you eat. With this, it's so strict. You can't have no social life. You can't go out. Can't do nothing. You gotta eat your meal plan. And if you do go somewhere, you gotta take your food with you. You're taking meal prep containers with you everywhere you go. So I mean, it's super strict. And I told y'all at the beginning that I would tell y'all if I'd ever do one again. My answer: heck no. I ain't ever doing one of these ever again. I say that. We'll see. Maybe one day in the future. But as of right now, the way I feel, nah, it ain't worth it. I feel terrible. Like I said, it ain't competing, ain't for everybody. And honestly, I just think I'm one of those people. I don't think it's for me. Am I gonna do it this time and go all in and give it 100%? Absolutely. I've been doing it this long. I'm committed. Like I'm going in. I ain't gonna cheat it now. I'm 3.5 weeks out, so we're going all in. We're committed. And we're gonna give it my all. We're gonna do it my best. Like I said, even if I don't win, like I'm not really worried about winning because honestly, I'm pretty small compared to some of the guys I'm gonna be going against. I don't think I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna give it my all and know that I did everything I could in my power to win. Because like at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to genetics. Like at the end of the day, there's gonna be some big swole jack dude there, and he's gonna whoop you every single time just because he got better genetics. And I'm not this, and just because they could work just as hard as you. Y'all could work the same. If y'all work on a scale of 1 to 10, if y'all both worked out at a 10, he may still come in better every single time just because he has better genetics. So I just want to know that I gave it my all and did everything I could in my power to win, and that's what we're doing. So far, that's what we've done. I stuck to the meal plan, stuck to the work. I haven't missed a workout, haven't missed a cardio, haven't missed a meal, anything. Like I've done it 100% to the T. So I'm doing it the best I can. So I know that when I go on the show day, I gave it everything I had. So regardless of the outcome, I'm gonna be happy. Like I've don't get me wrong, I say the process sucks, but I've enjoyed it. Like I've learned a lot. I've learned a ton about fitness, learned a ton about uh nutrition. I've gotten super disciplined. So it's been a good journey. Whether no matter even if it does has been hard and it has sucked, like it's been worth it. And I know when I get off the stage, it's definitely gonna be worth it. Like I'm gonna be so proud of myself and just glad that I actually went through and followed through and did everything that I said I was gonna do. So it's gonna be worth it. I know it is. It's just one more challenge that I'm trying to do. So it'll be worth it, but I don't see myself doing one again. So you gotta decide if it's right for you. If you don't like the diet, don't do one. Don't do it. If you like to challenge yourself and you really want to push yourself, then I say go for it. Because you will challenge. So it'll be one of the most challenging things you've ever done in your life for sure. So yeah, if you hadn't yet, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, wherever it is, the Fitness Beginner Podcast. I appreciate it. Leave a review, comment. If you have any topics you want covered on the podcast, send me a DM, Murphy McFit, on all my social medias. Let me know. Also, let me know if the mic sounds good. Hopefully it's coming through. Hopefully y'all can hear it right. And if it sounds any better than the other mic I had, this is pretty much top of the line mic I got now. But oh well, we're gonna play around. I gotta still play around with the settings to make sure that everything's set up right. Hopefully it is. But yeah, other than that, y'all have a great rest of the week. Get after it. Do something today that you wasn't gonna do, regardless. Get your work in, get a workout in, steps in, whatever that is for you. Yeah. Have a great day. Peace, love, protein. We out.